Hey there guys, this is Sam
And Justin.
at the Survival Review, and today we're going to be talking about Godzilla.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
And all.
Yep, Godzilla 2014.
Yes.
Because we already talked about the original.
Yes. So, we'll start with your spoiler-free opinion.
My spoiler-free opinion, I really enjoyed it. Did I think it was perfect? By no means. But it was a really fun movie, and that's all it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a fun monster movie,
Yes.
and it really did a good job of keeping the sort of Godzilla feel, like classic Godzilla feel, while still being a modern movie. And it was just really well done in my opinion, and I think I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. It's my quick little review, but now let's talk about spoilers, because there's some good ones.
Yeah, this isn't like a movie like Captain America or something like that where there's heavy spoilers.
Yeah.
There's no major plot twist or anything. We just want to talk about the really cool moments and a lot of the awesome stuff in this movie. And a few flaws that we have.
A couple of flaws.
Yes. So where do we begin on this?
There's a lot. Well, first of all, one thing that did kind of disappoint me is I like Bryan Cranston. I'm not like a
Everybody likes Bryan Cranston.
I'm not like a diehard Breaking Bad fan, but he's a very good actor, and I really enjoy most of the things he's in. And it was a bit disappointing to see that he wasn't in the movie a lot.
He died about about a half hour and so after that.
Which is sad, but you know.
Some people were saying, I kind of see this, like, if his character did stay alive, he wouldn't really have much to do.
Yeah, it's true. It was a lot more focused on his son.
Yeah. And Bryan Cranston's not the action hero, so like he wouldn't have a whole lot to really do. He'd just be there with Dr. Serizawa talking about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another cool thing to mention, Dr. Serizawa, which is from the original.
From the original.
Cool.
Really cool. Yeah, and he was good.
Mm-hmm. You know, let's just talk about flaws. Get those out of the way.
Yeah, we'll get the flaws out of the way.
One of the things I had a problem with, I was saying, is the ending. I liked the idea of Godzilla being the hero, but it was really cheesy.
It was cheesy.
It was cheesy.
It didn't feel realistic at all.
No.
I mean, even after all this destruction, you would think, like, I mean, he killed the monster, and, like, people would be like, yeah, he killed the monster, but it's still a giant monster that destroyed a lot of the city.
When it's on the news, and it was like, King of the Monsters, menace or savior of the city, and you're like, really? And then that really cheesy smile Dr. Serizawa gives at the end when he sees him get up and walk away, you're like, oh, I don't completely buy that.
No, and there were...
But the idea of making him the hero, I like that idea.
I did like that too. I wasn't expecting it at all.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
I did like that.
I just thought that wasn't handled too well.
Another thing that both of us agree on is that there were a lot of plot conveniences. It just in the sense where he happens to always be in the city where the monster shows up.
Yeah.
It's really convenient for the plot. It's not necessarily a really awful thing,
no.
But it's just kind of...
Or even Dr. Serizawa seems to know like what Godzilla's thinking. So he's like, Godzilla would probably do this. And right,
exactly.
How would you know?
But
You're
somehow...
not friends, you don't talk to each other.
It's a little ridiculous at times.
Yeah,
but...
and I was saying, my problem was a little bit, I was kind of had a hard time explaining, it was Godzilla's role at the beginning. It just felt kind of off. I don't know, like that, they were pretty much like calling him the hero to begin with. Like, oh yeah, he'll be there. Like, nobody was really feeling like Godzilla was a threat, it felt at the beginning. I don't know, I still can't explain it. Even talking about spoilers, it just felt kind of weird, Godzilla's role at the beginning.
But the thing is, it's not something that takes from the movie at all. Like, you're not really... You go into a Godzilla movie, you're not going for a realistic film.
Yeah, I just felt the way it was handled, I just felt it was kind of weird.
Yeah, some of it was a little weird, but in my opinion... Godzilla movies, you're supposed to expect a little bit of cheese.
It could have been that I just wasn't used to that. Kind of like how when I first saw Man of Steel, and I was starting to realize that, in this one, Lois is going to know he's Superman. At first I was like, it's a little weird here, and then I kind of understood what was going on. Could have been something like that, like I was expecting Godzilla's introduction to be different. Probably could have been that.
Yeah.
So, look at the action scenes.
The action scenes...
You know, it was a little disappointing when everyone cut away at the beginning.
Yeah, there were a lot of cutaways. As the film went on, they got a little more in depth with the action scenes.
But like the first time it cut away, it was funny when they cut to the TV screen.
Yeah.
That was a little funny, but the introduction of Godzilla is so great. The airport scene, that it was a little kind of like, okay, that's how you're gonna play it.
Yeah, it was sad.
That was another brief like kind of flaw I had. You never really saw like the world's like reaction to the monsters being there. There was always just like there. People were just like, oh yeah, like I feel like on the news it should say, you know, Hawaii being attacked, but it also should say like, this is real, folks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, Hawaii's under attack, and you see two monsters fighting. It's like,
you see the mom come into the room and she immediately reacts like, oh. But like, if anyone were to actually see that on a TV, they would be like, oh, there's a monster movie on TV.
Yeah. But like, it felt like, and even then, like later on, like there was like, the main guy, Kick-Ass. We're just gonna call him Kick-Ass.
Because we don't know
his reaction was kind of just like, oh yeah, being attacked by a monster. Yeah. And I felt like they could have handled that a little bit. The movie wasn't as dark as I was expecting.
No, I was actually expecting it to be a pretty dark film. And I mean, it had its dark moments.
But it didn't hurt the movie for not being that dark. It wasn't like Iron Man 3 where the trailers were dark and then we got a goofy movie. This is fine. This didn't affect
This was good. And again, it's a Godzilla movie. You gotta expect some sort of
like people were
cheesiness.
saying, Godzilla's not in it that much. Well, Godzilla's not really in much of the other Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
This one focuses on the Muto monsters a lot. Well, the other Godzilla movies do that too. They always focus on the villain. And then Godzilla comes in to save the day during the movie.
Exactly.
So I didn't mind. Except that was only kind of annoying when they cut away. That was kind of like, oh.
But then there were some really cool fight scenes.
Oh, whenever I think of moments in the ending, I just smile.
Exactly.
Should we talk about the best part?
The best part, which when I heard, he mentioned that this actually happens before we saw the movie, and I got really excited. I was not expecting them to use the atomic breath.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting it at all, and then he mentioned they were going to be using it, and throughout the whole movie, I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, me too. And then,
but then you see his spine light up blue, and you just go, oh,
you were the audience. The audience was starting.
This is going to be sweet, and just the way he did it.
Yeah.
He holds the Muto monster and he just breathes it down its throat.
That's one of the best moments in the movie this year.
Yes.
No matter what.
And then he snaps its head off. It was amazing.
That was one of the best moments, like, ever. That was amazing. He starts like ripping the mouth open. That was so sick.
It was fantastic.
Also, the whole climax I thought was good too, though.
Yeah.
All the fight scenes. The fighting between the monsters were really good.
They were.
And they did have a good balance of the human elements and the monsters in the ending.
Yeah, it wasn't so focused on the human element where it felt like it was slow. It never felt like a slow-moving movie. No. It was well paced, I'd say.
Godzilla was just plain awesome.
It was a really, really solid movie.
I'm also talking about the character Godzilla. It was just really awesome. He was it was great. It's Godzilla. It is. It's not whatever they did in '98.
Yeah. And I'm hearing a lot of people complain about him being fat. Have you heard those complaints?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really see it. I mean, he may be a little pudgy, but
some of the Godzilla in some of the '90s movies was really fat, and so I wouldn't be complaining if you.
No, I honestly think that the Godzilla, the creature in the movie looked really cool. Mm-hmm. And the Muto monsters were really cool as well. I thought those were
the most amazing things.
They weren't like anything outstanding, but I thought for this movie they worked really well as the villain creature.
And there was a reference that I actually missed, but in the movie, there's a scene at the beginning of the movie when they were in the when Kick-Ass and Bryan Cranston are in this house at the like quarantine place. In the fish tank, you see like a cocoon. Mm-hmm. And apparently there's like something else labeled under it that says Mothra. Really? Yeah. I never noticing the cocoon part, but I noticed the Mothra part.
That's cool.
But that's awesome. That's
I didn't notice that either.
To come.
I would have said something if I had.
Even though honestly I'm not the biggest Mothra fan, but it's still cool.
It's still something. And
it's still awesome. It was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the pacing was good.
Yeah.
Like every scene that was there to kind of move this plot forward.
Yeah, there wasn't anything unnecessary.
Did you kind of find the introduction of the second Muto to be a little weird?
A little bit when they they go into the toxic waste area.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, he's gone.
And they just open up a door and he's gone. And he's going straight to Vegas.
Yeah, and then there's that one scene before there where they realized the second one, and that happened. That's the only kind of time where pacing might have been off a bit. And I felt really quick. They're like, oh wait, oh no, the second one, oh my gosh. And then they go see it and it's gone. It's already attacking Las Vegas. And you're just like, oh, alright, I guess there's a second monster.
Darn.
And that was a little kind of like, that was a little weird.
Yeah.
That could have been handled a bit better. Which is, I definitely check out, I mean, if you're watching this video, you've probably seen the movie.
Yeah.
Even if you haven't, still see the movie. Because, I mean, it's not like we're revealing, like, that the Mandarin's really just an actor or anything. It's not really giving away terrible spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really cool thing when you see these action scenes for the first time. Which is another thing worth mentioning is the advertisement.
Yes.
It didn't give anything away.
No.
It barely even showed the monsters.
They showed up. They did show. I watched a lot of trailers this week, so I was really pumped. They did show a few of the really cool money shots, but not all of them.
Yeah.
And it was still really surprising a lot of stuff. They didn't show anything of the ending, which is great.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
The whole ending was a surprise, and it was so amazing. They never showed monsters fighting, which is great.
Yeah, and we were jokingly talking about it. If Sony, who made the Spider-Man trailers, got a hold of this, then they would show
the fire breath,
the atomic breath, and they would show all the best scenes right in the trailer.
They would, because that's what they did with Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, and they didn't do that with
the marketing for this movie was very good. I call the marketing centered around the humans and kind of built it as that. Like, it is a disaster movie. That's what the movie really is.
Yeah.
A disaster movie, except disaster is not a tornado or anything, it's a monster.
No, granted, they did kind of use Bryan Cranston
yes.
as a big selling point for this movie.
Yeah.
Which some people might have been disappointed with.
It's also funny how in all the trailers you think he's talking about Godzilla, but he's not. He's not even alive. He doesn't know about Godzilla at all in this movie. He dies before Godzilla even appears.
Yeah.
So that's funny how in the trailers you think he's warning them about Godzilla, which was really cool, but he actually wasn't.
Nope. That's
marketing for you.
Yeah.
It was a little disappointing him having a small part, but
you know
he was great in the scenes he had.
Yeah.
And that was also the problem with him dying so early, is that he was probably the best developed character in the movie, with the best motivations.
Yeah, like everyone thought he was insane.
Yeah, and his wife dies early on. That was a really great scene. It's
yeah.
Like, you're more into his character than you are for Kick-Ass, who just needs to get home to his family. But I still like Kick-Ass.
Yeah, he was good, and
I didn't think he was as bland as everybody is saying. I'm not saying he was that great.
He wasn't anything like...
But he wasn't nearly as bland as people were saying, I thought. I thought he did pretty good, but...
He was alright.
Yeah, he was alright. He basically got the job done. And I was actually interested to see his character get home. Not truly invested, but interested enough.
Now, as far as the sequel goes, would I like to see his character return? Not
you don't
really.
have to. Godzilla movies never have returning characters.
Exactly.
So just... maybe bring back Dr. Serizawa or something
like
that.
That would be cool.
Element.
He was good.
Yeah, he was good. And as long as he doesn't predict what Godzilla's doing every 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was...
Bring him back.
Just plain.
But I tell you what, you don't need to bring back Kick-Ass. Because his story's been told, and Godzilla movies never bring back characters, really.
Yep.
Okay. I hope they introduce some classic monsters. That'd be cool.
That would be cool, and with the hints like Mothra in there, I have a feeling they're going to do something like that.
They can have a little bit more focus on monsters. That'd be good.
Yeah.
I still thought the human focus was good in this one.
Absolutely.
So that's Godzilla.
That's Godzilla.
It
did
not disappoint. Had flaws, but
we would say it was not a disappointment.
But like it's Godzilla, so
exactly.
We weren't expecting a masterpiece movie, so.
So that's about all we've got to say about it, and we will see you guys later.